Hi guys, so you're thinking about doing the carnivore diet and you're just wondering, hey, are there precautions that I need to take to maximize my fat loss and also my health throughout the diet? Now, I've lost 10 kilos in 10 weeks, 8 times, 8 different ways. And the carnivore diet was one of those ways. And I found it a really easy diet to get through my 10-week block of losing 10 kilos. So I'm here to discuss 6 things. I can't say 6. 6 things or precautions that you need to take throughout that carnivore diet experience that you're about to undertake. So that leads me to number 1. Everyone's concerned about the carnivore diet is cholesterol levels. Cholesterol levels, guys, best thing to do, go to your doctor before you start, have a blood test. Let's look at your cholesterol level. Have a chat to your doctor, tell them what you're going to undertake for weight loss or whatever reason it might be. Now, they'll tell you your levels. Let's say they're normal. If they are elevated, they might give you advice not to go carnivore. So that's just a thing because it might push you into really unhealthy level. So best to do that before you start. Throughout the 8 to 12 weeks, let's say week number 4 or 5, hey, go and get another blood test done. Why not? There's no restrictions on that. Go and get another blood test done. See what your levels are at. At the end of the 8 to 12 weeks, get your blood test done. Again, see where your levels are at. And then you can make the decision whether you want to continue the diet or start adding back some carbohydrates and reducing the amount of fat that's in that diet. Remember, guys, I'm only talking about weight loss. In weight loss, you do that for a set period of 8 to 12 weeks. You're not on a diet for 6 months. You're not on a diet for 12 months. If you want to adopt a lifestyle of the carnivore diet, hey, that's fine. But just get medical advice throughout that process. So by referring to your doctor and looking at those cholesterol levels, hey, that eliminates that concern. Number 2 is when we're talking about the carnivore diet, all we're talking about is protein and fat. That's it. There's no carbohydrates whatsoever. It's all animal products. So when you're looking at just protein and just fat, you need to have the appropriate levels of fat in your diet for energy. And you need to have the appropriate levels of protein to maintain the muscle that you have on your body, especially through a diet phase, because your metabolism and metabolic rate is going to drop through that diet period. And it doesn't matter how many maintenance days you have throughout that period, it is going to drop because you're in a caloric deficit. And that's what you have to do to get the fat off your body. There is no other way. So we need to have resistance exercise and we need to have 30 to 40% protein in your diet. Now, that leads us to the fat content. We need to have 60 to 70% fat in your diet. Making sure you've got sufficient fat in your diet to be used as energy. Because remember, guys, you've got no more carbohydrates coming in. Carbohydrates is the body's #1 source of energy. And it always will be, even if you're on a ketogenic diet. Because if you've been ketogenic for 3 or 4 years, guess what? You have carbohydrates, bang, your body's back to burning carbohydrates before it burns the fat again. It loves carbs. Doesn't matter how long you've been on a ketogenic diet, it's going to go back to carbs just like that. And that leads us to number 3, guys. If you're doing it for weight loss, and I hope you are, you need to have a deficit. So, for example, let's say someone my size, I'm 54 years old, 100 kilos. I was 112, now I'm down to 100. Now, my metabolic rate right now is 1,900 calories. I'm currently in a maintenance period of 1,900 calories. Now, if I want to go into my next phase of weight loss, I'm not going to keep eating 1,900. I'm going to eat 1,400 calories a day on average each day per week. And that gives me a deficit of 3,500 calories. Guess what, guys? That's half a kilo a week, just like that, just out of my diet. And that leads us to number 4, which is associated with number 3 in calorie counting. Number 4, guys, is intermittent fasting. Most people use intermittent fasting when they're doing a ketogenic diet. They're only eating twice a day, and they might snack on a little bit throughout that 8-hour or 6-hour window that they're eating for. And they'll have a fast period of 16 to 18 hours. And they purely do that, especially on the ketogenic diets like carnivore, because they feel fuller for longer and they don't have that need to eat 3 or 4 times a day. And because you're fuller for longer, it's really easy to implement intermittent fasting. And that might be not in the first couple of weeks because you're just getting used to the diet. However, after sort of week 3, week 4, you're just like, I'm so sick of eating meat to a certain extent, and you'll implement that intermittent fasting. And that's what most people are experiencing and why weight loss is so good on those ketogenic diets. They simply just do not feel like eating as much as they did previously on a balanced diet. However, just be aware, if you do eat more calories, it will store as fat. End of story. All right, number 5, guys, salt. Because you are so restricted in your diet, you do need to have a lot of salt, guys. And it's a really good mineral to put on your, whatever you're having for dinner, breakfast, lunch, snacks, whatever, put salt on it. Reason for it, it's a really good mineral. And when you look at, and hey, like I was saying before, I was talking to someone that was experiencing the carnivore diet a couple of weeks ago, and she was going through cramping. And she was saying she's taking some sort of supplement to eliminate that cramping. And I said, hey, do you put salt on all the food that you eat? The answer was no. Salt, electrolytes, control muscle cramps, guys. So if you're depleted of salt and those electrolytes, guess what's going to happen, guys? You're going to cramp. So put salt on everything that you eat. It's a really good mineral that's going to protect your muscles from cramping. And that's about it on that one, guys. Nice and simple. Last one, guys, water. We all need water to survive. Your body's made up of 60-70% water. You need 1 litre per 30 kilos of body weight you walk around it. So I'm 100 kilos. I need 3 to 4 litres a day, every single day, of water to maintain my body. Now that means if I don't drink my 3 to 4 litres a day, my body's going to store water, unnecessary water storage, which is going to add to those scales that you're trying to reduce. So water is really important. Secondly, when you have that salt that I just mentioned, salt creates water storage as well, guys. You don't have that water storage from carbohydrates because those are eliminated out of the diet. However, that salt, excess salt, will help you store water also. We need that salt in our diet. So therefore, guess what? We need to have that water in our diet also. And just having the sufficient amount of water that we're supposed to have, it will not flush out that salt. You're just giving it the required amount of water needed to survive and to not store itself. Because remember what, guys, whatever you do, your body will adapt to whatever you do and whatever you don't do. So do what your body wants you to do.